Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's podcast time. Crazy Ant Media. If you guys don't know what that's from, Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings.
Yes. All we need is the uncola now. You know, like with 7-Up. You remember? I loved those old commercials with the uncola.
Right. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. Well, nothing that what I just said has anything to do with our guest today. Jonathan Sadowski coming on this show. Oh my goodness, so super excited.
Yes.
Young and hungry. Shit, my dad says. Like so much stuff that this guy's been on, and I mean, he's more than just an actor too.
That's right. He's a chef.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, and he can prove it because he was on Chopped.
He was.
And I mean, he was a badass.
Yeah. Runner up. Should have been finished first because the guy who won was literally a chef as well.
Right.
So it doesn't really make sense.
No.
But he was rigged. He was robbed. Man. I mean, we're pulling for him, though. We're signing a petition. We're doing all that.
Like,
stuff.
Seriously. And he gives us the inside scoop on Shatner.
Yes.
And who doesn't want to know the inside scoop on Shatner?
Oh, my
That's all I'm
goodness.
saying.
I'm so excited for everybody to hear that story because that's just so freaking funny.
Yeah.
So excited. But anyway, guys, that is later on in the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, we're back on video for episode 138. Yes, I just want to apologize to all those YouTube fans out there. I forgot to charge the batteries.
It happens.
It happens. Oh, man. But, I mean, of course, just go back and listen. It was a hell of a time. Jeremy Gordon and, I mean, so many other. Billy Joel.
My God.
We had Billy Joel on.
The top 5 alone is worth going back and listening. It was so good.
Exactly.
And Stacey sings.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, she literally sang a line from like every one of our songs. It was fantastic.
So good, man. So good. Well, you guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mouth.
What's up?
Guys, we got a lot to talk about. We really do. A lot of furloughs happening. I mean, everybody know the whole entertainment industry is being affected right now, especially with Disneyland and the parks. We'll get into it. We got some more 90s cartoons that are coming back. We got a whole bunch of stuff, really.
That's it, man. If you were a 90s cartoon creator, you're loving it.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, your shit is coming back everywhere. So.
Exactly. But you guys know, before we get this thing started, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear all weekend long. This weekend, you get 15% off anything and everything that's on our website, so be sure to start shopping because Christmas is just around the corner.
That is a solid deal, 15% off.
Oh, yeah.
It's inexpensive to begin with. You know,
Exactly.
high quality but low price, but then you get an additional 15%. Come on.
Exactly. And we're going to have some Black Friday deals, and then, of course, everybody knows we'll be releasing the holiday merchandise on Thanksgiving, so just stay tuned for all that, guys, but we appreciate everybody who's been buying up the Crazy Ant Media gear. We love you. But we got some sad news, man. We got some really sad news.
Yeah.
Dustin and I both are huge fans of Jeopardy, and, of course, that also means huge fans of Alex Trebek.
Yes.
And, I mean, I'm sure everyone saw he passed away this week after losing his battle with pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
It's super freaking sad, man.
80
years old. I mean, hell of a life. Like, he's got the best one-liners I've ever heard.
Oh, without doubt.
I mean, it's so super sad. And the crazy thing is, everybody knows they don't just film one episode a day. So then until like Christmas Day, I think is his last episode that's going to air.
Yep. Because he was literally in the studio filming episodes all the way up. Yeah, just a week before he died. So I mean, just October 20th. And this is the crazy thing: more than 8,000 episodes of Jeopardy that he hosted. Yeah. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most game show host episodes ever on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And now, of course, the talk has begun. You know, who's going to replace him? Should you replace him? Like, I guess there's a petition for LeVar Burton. Yeah. I like LeVar Burton, but this ain't Reading Rainbow, and he's not Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. I don't personally think you should keep going.
Yeah.
But it's a cash cow, so I don't think that's an option for Sony. But if it was me, some things just forget the money, man. How do you replace Alex Trebek?
I know. It's super hard. It's super duper hard. And I mean, we talked about last week all of the Jeopardy greats making their own show. But I think Ken Jennings, I mean, he's been brought on as a producer for Jeopardy. So, I mean, just make him the host. I feel like since he literally is the greatest of all time, make him the new host. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, everything's kind of up in the air right now. And like I said, Alex's last air date for Jeopardy is going to be on Christmas Day. So I'm definitely going to tune into that one just to see what that was like. And I mean, if any sense of maybe he knew, because I mean, we see that sometimes when people who are about to pass away, like they come to grips with everything. They make amends with everybody. So yeah, I'm going to tune in on Christmas Day. It's going to be super sad, but I mean, it's Alex Trebek.
Yep.
It sucks, man. It really sucks.
It does.
Rest in peace, and of course, condolences go out to the family and everybody who was on his team at Jeopardy. I'm sure everybody's gonna love and miss him. It's absolutely wild.
It is.
Getting choked up. Okay, Disney. Going over to Disney. Walt Disney blew past Wall Street estimate last quarter, but it's still in the red as revenue because of Disneyland. Disneyland is a huge contributor to their overall revenue. So this sucks. And now we're seeing that parks won't even open until after December 31st.
Yeah, they are still adamant about keeping Disneyland. California is adamant about keeping Disneyland closed. Disney wants to open it, but California is just saying no. It was good news. They did beat Wall Street estimates, so that's good news. And the stocks did see a nice little soar after that. We found out today that a lot of Wall Street analysts have upgraded the buy, so the stock saw another uptick today, so that's good. But man, if there was any doubt as to where the revenue comes from in Disney, it is those parks. Guys, this is a staggering number. They took $2.4 billion loss just in the fourth quarter from the parks being closed. And overall this entire year, they have lost $6.9 billion from the parks being closed.
That's crazy.
$6.9 billion in just the parks division.
Yeah.
Then you add in that the movies weren't going anywhere. They weren't coming out anywhere. And the loss that they took on that, just damn.
Yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. But, I mean, it's not all bad for Disney. It's
no,
not all bad because,
no.
I mean, their streaming service, Disney Plus, is fucking huge right now. And, I mean, just surpassing their numbers that their expectations were. And, we're at 73.7 million subscribers as of September 30th. Probably a little bit more than that right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's insane. They thought, 2.5 years, 3 years before they even got to this number?
Yeah. I mean, and they were saying 5 years before they would crack 100 million.
Yeah.
So, I that's coming. I think January. Fuck.
Right? Like, you never know. Like, literally last time we talked about it, around August, September, they were 15 million below this number. And now, shit, fucking every 3 months you're going to put 15 million more, subscribers. They're catching up to Netflix real quick.
Really fast. And ESPN is now over 10 million subscribers. ESPN Plus, for the first time in its history.
Yeah.
Hulu, 36.6 million subscribers. So figure the math out on that, guys. They're well over 100 million total subscribers on their streaming platforms. That's I would not be surprised if Ted and Reed are hearing the Jaws theme song.
Exactly.
Because they're coming, man. They are coming. You guys are in trouble. You thought 5 years you had, but no. It looks like January or February, these guys might go over 100 million at just Disney Plus. Y'all are in trouble.
Yeah.
Y'all are in trouble. We should say that, based on all of the new ones that came out, Apple and Peacock and HBO Max, and Disney by a landslide is kicking ass above everybody else. None of the others have even come close to those type numbers. Whether that's Mandalorian, whether that's Hamilton, whatever the case may be, the Marvel, old Marvel movies on there and everything, whatever it is, they are whooping ass. It's incredible, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. And plus with all Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, of course, we're talking about the bundle. So Hulu has also gained subscribers. They're at 36.6 million subscribers right now, and those definitely are impressive. But of course, they're expected to lose some in the fiscal year of until 2024. Just to it's a balancing act to see what people like, testing the waters out. But I really think the bundle is the future. And I mean, if Apple makes a deal with all these streaming services, that bundle is definitely the future.
Yeah, and I'm not buying that 2024 profitability stuff. I think they're going to be profitable before that. Yeah, because
like maybe 2 years.
Yeah, you can't add 15 million subscribers every month and not expect to start making money quick.
Exactly.
I mean, that's got to be. I know Iger was adamant about, it's going to take a few years for us to see a profit, but it's going to be blah, blah. I think it's going to happen much faster than they thought.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Completely agree. But, I mean, like we were talking about, furloughs are happening at Disney with Disneyland and, I mean, Disney World, but most of it being Disneyland because, like we talked about, California is not going to reopen it back up. And there's no sign from the California officials that the theme park will reopen anytime in the near future. Nope. In September, Disney laid off like 28,000 of its staff in the U.S. theme parks, and those cuts came at an executive salary and hourly level, although the bulk of the hit, or like around 67%, fell to the part-time workers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's super crazy, man. It's coming at every single level, but it really sucks. It's super unfortunate.
It is, and kudos to Disney for at least doing this. For all of the people that they are furloughing right now, they will continue to be able to maintain their health insurance and benefits.
Yeah.
The company's going to pay both the company's contribution and the employee's contribution to the health care so that they don't lose their health care. And they will be able to use their paid time off to be able to get that, and they will be allowed to file for unemployment and then still get their job back even if they file unemployment.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the companies who furloughed employees, if they went ahead and filed unemployment, they just cut them loose and they couldn't come back after the furlough. So at least Disney is doing that.
Yeah.
So
I feel like if you're a part of their organization in any sort of way, they're trying to take care of you. Of course, these are bad times for everybody, but they're trying to do the best they can. At least what it seems like. So it's super awesome to see. And like we talked about before, what I brought up a little bit earlier, hotels. I mean, we talked about that Disneyland is not even thinking about opening up before September or December 31st, and hotels are not even taking reservations for that little gap of time. So, I mean, everything's wild right now, man. And I mean, plus with this new wave of COVID that they're expecting to come hit with the winter months. So, I have no idea. I don't see it anytime soon. Maybe next summer. Maybe,
yeah. I mean, Fauci's still out there saying that winter we're going to see another huge breakout.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And we're going to continue bad news because it's not just the parks and the corporate side. Apparently the production side hasn't got all of their shit together yet either.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, Carly Hughes, you might know her from American Housewife. She was a regular. She's the only black person that is a regular in the cast.
Yeah.
She has apparently departed the series. I'm sure you guys saw that after the first 4 seasons, alleging a toxic work environment.
Yeah.
And apparently after she complained, Disney did do an internal investigation, and there was some shit going on, and they fired some people. It's interesting. Following it, they let go of the show creator, Sarah Dunn, and the producer on the show, Mark G. Greenberg, stepped down also. So, and they were hoping that would satisfy, but apparently it did not, and she continued to leave the show anyway, saying that it's just not what she wants to be a part of. So,
if she feels uncomfortable and she feels like she's being mistreated, good for her. Like, I mean, stand up for yourself, stand up for your rights, and like, fuck y'all.
It just goes to show that even with all of the positive stuff that we've seen in the Me Too movement, there's still some stuff that's just not right.
Yeah, agreed.
We still have a long way to go. So
agreed. And I mean, it's not all. Well, this is kind of bad because we just started watching Good Doctor. All right, guys.
Yes.
And I mean,
don't judge us.
No, don't. We're hopping on. It's okay. Sorry. Richard Schiff and his wife Sheila Kelly, which I didn't even know these two were married.
Yes.
But they both have COVID-19, but they are in isolation and it's not affecting the production of the show. So it will continue going on, and hopefully they can just isolate themselves, get rid of it, and then come back. Then like. for the temporary absence, they're going to be like trying to bounce around with the storylines and figure everything out. Right. So hopefully nothing will be interfered with like that, and no more delays. But, I mean, of course, there's going to be more delays.
Exactly. And we should say they did not catch it in any way, shape, or form on the Good Doctor.
Outside.
It was outside. So don't. The set has not been contaminated. It wasn't a set thing. They got it somewhere else. The scary thing is that they found out about it on Election Day, and remember it was just a couple of weeks prior to that Richard Schiff and the West Wing gang were doing the reunion for the election stuff. So I'm hoping that it's not anything there that somebody else there didn't get it, because I mean that'd be scary.
It would be
Martin
scary.
Sheen. I mean,
I mean, because he's up there.
I know.
So
I love the Good Doctor, but I can't stop calling him Toby.
I know you can't.
Like, I know he's Glassman, Dr. Glassman, but I just keep calling him Toby. And then when he had the yo-yo, and I'm thinking that's just a replacement for the racquetball for Toby. I'm just like, but it's a great show, guys.
Yeah, it is a really good show. And I mean, more casting announcement for this huge medical drama, Triage, that is coming to ABC. Kathleen Robertson from Murder in the First is set to lead opposite of Parissa Fritz Henley and Michael Ealy in the upcoming medical drama Triage. So, I mean, this one is racking up people, man. Like, damn.
This is that one we were talking about where it's going to take place over a series of 3 decades. I don't know if they're going to do flashbacks and stuff like This Is Us kind of thing, but it definitely sounds interesting, and there's no doubt about it. Medical dramas are the thing right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, NBC's racking them up, so, and I guess we're going to just continue to see it.
Yeah.
And when Grey's goes off after the end of this year, because Ellen certainly doesn't seem to be making any secret about it. They're going to need things to fill that hole. Good Doctor's great, but you're going to need another one, so,
Yeah, man. This next one I think is definitely just a counter thing to Celebrity Family Feud. ABC has ordered Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, and it's going to be a spin-off series. It's going to make its primetime debut, and of course it's going to have Sajak, it's going to have Miss White, and I mean the contestants are going to be trying to do all this stuff for their choice of charities, and it's going to be like a $1 million prize for their choice of charities. So I think that's kind of cool. Watching them more recently, though, I for sure think they have something going on.
That's long been the rumor, but and they play with that rumor all the time. They fuck with people about it, so I don't know. I'm honestly surprised this didn't happen sooner.
Honestly,
because Celebrity Jeopardy is a huge thing, and Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune are owned by the same people, and they're produced by the same people. So I'm really shocked that this did not happen sooner than this.
Right.
But I agree. ABC's just rolling with these celebrity game shows.
Yep.
So
definitely. And I mean, of course, the holidays are right around the season. We are almost in the midst. So Disney Channel has announced that it has an original Christmas movie in the works. Christmas Again. It has started production. Scarlett Estevez, Daniel Sunjata, Alexis Cara, and Priscilla Lopez are set to star. The holiday movie centers around Ro, a high-spirited 11-year-old hoping to add more spunk to her Christmas celebrations. And when her parents divorce, it goes anything but smoothly. And hoping to get back in the swing of things, the dad has a new girlfriend, and just a whole bunch of wild family drama. But, Disney is always good for that.
Always.
But, yeah, Christmas movie. I bet they all get back together as a big happy family, even with the new girlfriend or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. Woo! Disney Channel.
I'm just stoked because Ro is Scarlett Estevez, and if you guys are Lucifer fans, you know exactly who that is, Decker's daughter, and she's just a gem of a little actress, and I think she's got a huge career in front of her, so I'm stoked that she's kind of getting the lead in a film. That's fantastic.
It is pretty cool, man. It really is. Fox has also handed Katie Greenway's hybrid animated single cam project Demigod a script commitment and is in development. The project internally via Fox Entertainment, Demigod follows a powerless fast food employee who escapes into a fantasy world that she has created in her favorite video game. And only to have it turn against her, the virtual townspeople are granted for the game's upgrade. So it's very interesting. It very much sounds like these kids are on drugs, or who the creator was on drugs when they made this thing. So yeah.
Yes, this is an odd premise, but it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's on Fox, so it'll be successful.
I feel like you have a lot of leeway with the animated series.
Yeah,
like you can do whatever you want.
And if you're on Fox, you're successful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like season 200 for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just crazy if you're on Fox. We talked about this at the top.
Yep.
If you're a 90s creator and a cartoon creator, you are just loving this right now. Another one apparently is on the way, being rebooted. This one for Disney Plus, apparently. Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. I mean, I liked Darkwing Duck. It was early 90s, 91, 92.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a cool cartoon, but another one?
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. I mean, just...
I know. It sucks. It really sucks. No writer is currently attached to the project, but Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, James Weaver, and a couple other people are set on to produce the thing of Point Grey Pictures.
Yes.
So
Seth Rogen is everywhere.
He really is.
He's behind the scenes now on everything.
He's doing way more behind the scenes now than he is in front of the camera.
Yeah, producing, directing, all kinds of shit, man. Good for him, though.
Yeah.
And,
this next one, Favreau opened up a gate that I don't think should have been open. Maybe for the first two that he did, but everybody else wants to come and make their own now. Maybe a live-action Lilo and Stitch, and John M. Chu is in negotiation to direct this thing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians. You guys know
that guy.
Yeah, that guy. So, do we need this?
I know.
The Lilo and Stitch? I mean, and of course we've got the 101 Dalmatians coming with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
And like just all these live-action reboots that we just... I don't know.
When does it stop?
But we saved the best Disney news for last because we know all of you guys are geeks like us. You know you've been waiting for this. We finally have a date, y'all. We finally have a date.
Yes.
WandaVision, the first official MCU project to be on television from the MCU. WandaVision, we have a date. That's the good news.
Yes.
The bad news is it's not December like we thought.
No.
It's not going to be December. But not long after that, January 15th, just a couple weeks after. So January 15th of 2021, so just a few weeks away, it finally hits.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, all the delays, all the COVID stuff, now trying to revamp and figure out how they're going to pace the movies because WandaVision plays a big part in the movies coming up. But look, I'm excited as shit because you see the success Star Wars is having.
Oh, yeah.
You know the Marvel shows are going to do as well or better. So, I mean, it's just boom. And here we get it. We're finally going to get it. And the fucking promos, the latest commercial is just fucking brilliant.
Right.
And I think the show is going to be epic.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, especially, I'm thinking it's going to be like a limited series, right? That like just one season.
I think so because because it's setting up a storyline in the movies.
Yeah.
So I think, but you never know.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, you don't know anything with Disney and Marvel. I mean, they could have 18 seasons planned for all we fucking know. I don't know. But I'm excited just to get the limited series. To finally have an MCU television show on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Exactly. Well, now heading over to the Bunny, Warner Media. They are also going through some bad things because Disney isn't the only one feeling the squeeze of the pandemic. Warner Media is also laying off some people. A significant round of layoffs at Warner Media started this week as well, and the company has seen multiple staff reductions since the accusation of Time Warner when that closed in 2018, trying to figure everything out. Sources say that while COVID-19 has certainly taken a toll on its revenue from the theatrical release films and the TV advertising, a large part of the layoffs are part of a strategic revamp that has been long in the works.
Right. Remember,
streaming.
they announced that. You knew this was coming. They said they're reorganizing and reshifting and doing the priority. So we knew these layoffs were coming. So it's not like a big surprise, but it still sucks.
It does suck.
It sucks for all the people getting laid off. I mean, even if you knew it was coming, and I can't think of a worse time of year to lay people off than the holiday season. It's never, a good thing. So
it's pretty unfortunate, man. It's pretty unfortunate. I mean, just like we talked about, Johnny Depp's kind of dismissal, taken away thing, dismissal from Fantastic Beasts 2023. It has pushed back the film a little bit. It's going to be released November 12th of it's going to be July 15th of 2022, and it was November 12th of 2021. That's kind of crazy. They're already looking for new actors. Apparently, they think Mads Mikkelsen is coming on to replace Johnny. And what's crazy is, guys, I mean, Johnny only worked like 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 days, and he's still going to get a whole freaking paycheck for this thing.
Getting his whole salary for it. But, so that even more so sucks. You're laying a shit ton of people off, but you're going to pay Johnny $8 million something for 1 day's work.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck?
Sign the dotted line, man. Pay or play.
Pay or play, and, you got to do it. And so... Of course, now we're talking about just another delayed movie, it's being pushed back to 2022. So the big question is, this is the question that everybody keeps asking, what about Wonder Woman? What about Wonder Woman? What about Wonder Woman? Well, apparently, Warner Brothers is considering an HBO Max drop for Wonder Woman. But we all know Patty Jenkins... She ain't having no part of it not being in the theaters. So if they do this on HBO Max, apparently sources are saying that it would still be released in theaters on Christmas Day and then a couple of weeks later dropped on HBO Max in January. So that would be the plan. But that's only if they decide to keep it on Christmas. They're also looking at potentially delaying it until sometime next year so that it can be a full-out rollout in the theaters.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're saying is we still don't have a definitive answer on Wonder Woman 1984. We don't know.
It's either going to be like December, January, or the summer after that.
That's right.
So,
But what we do know, and we were talking about this before we started recording, is whatever they decide with Wonder Woman will almost wholeheartedly play in what happens to Black Widow.
Agreed.
Because they seem to be following each other's paths, and they're kind of like, the bunny and the mouse are always very strategically playing the chess game. So we'll see. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, right. It's absolutely bonkers, man. Super, super crazy.
Yes.
Now, going over to the CW.
Yes.
Black Lightning has upped some people for series regulars.
Yep.
Chantal Thoy.
Yep.
Who plays a shape-shifting metahuman. Grace Choi, like I said, she's been upgraded to a series regular, and she's appeared as a recurring character in the first season as she developed her relationship with Anisha, and who is also known as Metahuman Thunder.
Yes.
And they broke ground on TV because they were the first on-screen queer superhero couple of color. So, yes. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that she's going to become a whole freaking regular.
Yes. I mean, kudos to Greg Berlanti and the whole gang at the CW because they have not shied away from going hardcore deep into the LGBTQ community and the biracial and the color and diversity and everything has been a huge issue with them, and they have been the leader, I think. Leading the way, the Arrowverse has in seeing these steps come to fruition. So good to them. I mean, seriously.
Definitely. Well, Don Cheadle is also making moves, man. Freaking Radical Act Banner and HBO Max have inked a development deal for a dark comedy series titled Max.
Yes.
Max focuses on a black millennial woman who is trying to judge her intense professional life with her intricate sex life with some light sociopath tendencies. So yeah, that's all we know right now, but I'm already intrigued.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe her sex life is intricate and a little confusing because she's a sociopath. But I mean, I'm just guessing that could cause some problems. I'm just saying. Don Cheadle, though, I mean, he, again, another one that's kind of creatively making the move behind the scenes and working hard with his partner. So that should be an interesting one.
Yeah, super excited, man. Super excited. And especially about this one.
Yes.
Matthew Perry happily announced that his highly anticipated reunion with all of his friends and my friends and everybody's friends is being rescheduled to tape of March of 2021. So that is just around the corner, guys. I know everything's been up in the air like we've talked about. But yes, I mean, the plans are still being finalized, but early next year is indeed the target area for filming. So.
And it wasn't just Matt. that's coming straight from HBO Max. They confirmed that tweet was indeed accurate. Yeah. So, that's we announced this thing a year ago, guys. A year ago. Yeah, I mean, and now it's finally going to happen.
Boom.
So, there you go.
Super pumped, man. Super pumped. Viacom CBS going over to Paramount Pictures. It's moving forward with a Quiet Place franchise. So there's going to be a third one, and it's already in the works.
Yep.
They already got a different director and writer for this project, Jeff Nichols. He is going to write and direct the third film based on the original idea from the one and only John Krasinski.
Yes.
And everybody knows Krasinski co-wrote and directed the original and wrote and directed the sequel as well.
Which we still haven't seen.
So that it's kind of interesting to me. Like the script must be really, the idea. I should just say the idea because Jeff is going to write the script. So the idea must be really freaking good. But it's instances like this where is 3 too much? I feel like 1 and 2 probably covered the whole ground, but is 3 too much?
I feel like some people are talking about it being like a Walking Dead type move where Krasinski's going to take it outside of the little area that we're familiar, like a whole different section of the world, and like a whole. So who knows? He's a brilliant guy though.
But this is also like building a universe in this time, and is that too much? I feel like, we've got some more stuff that's kind of like that. Well, I'll bring it up when we get to those points. But yeah, I feel like sometimes you're just beating a dead horse, in my opinion. Just appreciate something that's great, okay? Just appreciate something that's great.
I would have been fine if they ended it after the first one.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about the second because fuck COVID. We haven't seen it because of COVID. But, I just feel like that would have been an excellent standalone horror film.
Yeah.
And move on.
Exactly. Completely agree. CBS has filled in the last big missing piece for its fall schedule, and it's the Friday night lineup. The network has set Friday, December 4th for the season's premiere of MacGyver, Season 5, Magnum P.I. Season 3, and Blue Bloods, which is Season 11.
I can't believe that's 11 years already.
I know, it doesn't seem like that, right?
It doesn't, but Mom's excited. That's all we can say. Mom's excited.
Exactly. Well, Chuck Lorre is one of the biggest guys for television right now, because he's literally got fucking, 6 on-air series right now, and apparently about to have another one.
Yes.
Just given a series order to the United States of AI.
No, Al.
If it was United States of AI, we were being taken over by robots.
That would have been scary.
Yeah, but it's going to be a multi-camera comedy pilot from Chuck Lorre, and the order brings, like I said, the current sheet of work that he has with CBS to 5.
Yes.
So, man, he's fucking rocking and rolling.
Seriously, he's got, what is it? It's Young Sheldon, Mom, Bob Loves Abishola, and Be Positive, which we talked about. That's a new one coming on this season. So all on CBS now with Al. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he's got Comiskey, the Comiskey Method on Netflix.
Yeah.
So he ties Norman Lear's legendary record of having 6 or 7 on at one time. Yeah. Comedy shows on at one time in a season.
Which is pretty crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's still nowhere near Berlanti, who has literally a show on every network and every streamer. But we're talking just specifically comedy shows.
Yeah.
So congrats to him, though. Kicking ass.
Definitely.
He survived the whole Charlie Sheen thing and 2.5 Men kind of scandal. And,
he's rock and rolling.
He's doing all right. I think he's doing okay.
Definitely. Marnie Carpenter, from Criminal Minds and Good Girls, is set to star as a series regular opposite of Rebecca Breed. Yes, and CBS is Clarice. Additionally, Jane Atkinson from Criminal Minds and House of Cards. So many others that came onto this one. Like we said, this is set in the Silence of the Lambs universe.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I think this is going to be a really cool show. It's going to be interesting to see that relationship outside of the movie and kind of what goes on. And I just think it's risky. Anytime you have a huge film like that, it's risky to kind of take it to TV or expand the story. But I think this one's worth the risk. I think it's going to be awesome.
I think so too, man. I think so too. Now heading over to NBC Universal, Chicago Fire has been paused. timeout for its 9th
Get the extinguisher.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking 2 weeks due to several individuals on the show's production believed to be in Zone 1, and they all tested positive for COVID-19. I mean, they followed the guidelines, and sometimes it's just not enough. I mean, there's so much unknown about this virus right now, so it makes sense. Pause for 14 days at the moment, but yeah, it's wild.
We could explain Zone 1 to you because we had to go through all of it for the film that we're getting ready to shoot, and I can tell you, it's insane.
It is.
The zones and the requirements and the things that you have to go through for all this. So the fact that you can do all that and somebody still get it, it's just mind-boggling to me. So wear your fucking masks, wash your hands, put on gloves if you have to. But, guys, if you could see the guidelines that these people have to go through and know that you can still get it, that should tell you everything you need to know.
Agreed.
Like, honestly, it's crazy.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Universal is closing close to finalizing a deal with Michael Bay. And, I mean, of course, it's going to be an action film, but it's going to be a little bit on the thriller side. Ambulance. It's going to star possibly Jake Gyllenhaal. He's in negotiations right now. Bay is fast-tracking the project and is talking to other actors to join Gyllenhaal and plans to shoot on around January. So, I mean, details are being kept under wraps by insiders say the film is a vein of the great action thrillers of the 90s like Speed and Bad Boys. And I'm sure a lot of people remember he directed Bad Boys.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, and they're not shying away. They're going after some big movies, man. Universal is also in development on the high-octane action comedy based on a Vietnam film, Saigon Bodyguards. So when you think Saigon Bodyguards, you normally think Chris Pratt. It makes total sense, right? Well, it does, apparently. Chris Pratt is attached to star in the film with Woo Jing. Woo Jing is a huge Vietnamese and Asian star, so if you guys aren't familiar. Saigon Bodyguards focuses on two pals. One a straight arrow, the other a doof. Not my words, I swear to God, that's the log line.
Buddy cop. Like, I mean, it's just going to be another buddy cop, I feel like.
Yes. So, apparently a corporate heir gets kidnapped right under their noses as they're watching her.
So, Rush Hour?
So, yeah, basically, I mean, that's what this sounds like, but it's Chris Pratt, so I'm down. Yeah. Chris Pratt, everything he does is, like, awesome, so I'm totally down.
Agreed. This next one, whatever, but I'm kind of happy that he's a part of it, at least, because, I mean, it makes more sense. Universal Pictures and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Danny Garcia's $7 production are in development on a reboot of The Scorpion King. Now, you're going to ask us, does that mean he's coming back as Scorpion King? No, that is not what that means. This man is literally booked, packed, busy as hell until 2022. Yes. So they're going to be looking for different people to play the role, but I think he's going to make a little cameo. I don't even think he's going to play the same character he played in the original. So, I mean, he's going to make a little cameo somewhere in this film, but yeah. Whatever.
2022 with film projects and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he was done after that, because long has been the rumor that he's considering a presidential run.
That'd be crazy.
If 2022 wraps up, you would pretty much have to start the presidential campaign for 2024 if that was the case.
Yeah.
Of course, if Kamala does really well and everything is great, then that won't be an issue.
Oh my God.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just,
Kamala and The Rock. Holy shit.
What?
That would be crazy.
You can smell what they're cooking.
Is that your bodyguard? No, that's my VP.
That's right. I mean, that would be insane, man.
It really would.
Ain't nobody mess with that.
Hell no.
No. Who would want to debate that?
Yeah.
He'd just be standing there, and if he disagreed, he'd be shoot him that eye, and you'd be like, fuck it, nope.
He could break out of a suit and it'll flex. Like, it'd be fucking crazy.
Woo! Okay.
I'm super excited about this next one, though, because Jordan Peele is definitely one of the best creators right now that is not making reboots. He's coming up with all of his own ideas, and his next horror film has gotten a release date. The latest from the Oscar winner will hit the theaters July 22nd of 2022 via Universal. There are no details about this project other than the two titles that we mentioned that Peele signed his rich 5-year overall feature deal with the studio. He will write, direct, and produce both, according according to his 2019 announcement.
Yeah, so that's exciting. And you're right. He is one of the rare creators out there right now doing original stuff that's kicking ass.
Yeah.
So, see, it is possible to do original content and not have to do reboots and whatever. Just do original.
It's not hard.
Okay, so now going back to what we were talking about, trying to fill that void of medical dramas, right?
Yeah, right.
You guys know Transplant. NBC's already got Transplant, which was from Canada, right? It was a Canadian show that they brought over. Apparently, it is doing so well, they wanted more. So now they're going after Nurses. Yep. Nurses is another Canadian hospital drama that they're going to add to the lineup in December. It's the second Canadian show, because we just told you Transplant was the first.
Boom.
So this 10-part series, though, is set in Toronto, and it follows 5 young nurses working on the front lines of a busy downtown hospital, dedicating their lives to helping others while struggling to help themselves.
Yeah.
We don't know if that includes sociopathic tendencies.
Right.
Is that the problem with the sex life? That's another show. We don't know. We don't know. But we will find out what's wrong with these 5 nurses. Right. Why can't they help themselves? Are they too busy helping others? We don't know.
I'm pretty excited about that, though. Hopefully it doesn't depict doctors as arrogant douchebags, because I feel like a lot of the grunt work is pushed off onto the nurses and RNs and shit. So it's going to be interesting. Definitely a different perspective for a medical drama.
It is. If told from the point of view of nurses, you don't see that very often. Mm-hmm. So NBC, look at you.
Yeah.
Grabbing from the upstairs neighbor. It's fine. It's fine. It's good.
Sony, nothing. Now over to MGM.
Spider-Man is filming, though.
Yeah, it's there.
It's filming.
Oh, my goodness. Oprah, the one and only O that matters, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Brad Pitt, are teaming up together to produce a film adaptation of Ta-Nehisi Coates' best-selling novel, The Water Dancer.
Yes. The Water Dancer.
Yeah,
this was on Oprah's book list.
Of course.
That's where all these come from, right?
Duh. Yeah. And it's going to be following Hiram Walker, who was born enslaved and lost his mother at a young age. After almost drowning in a when he crashed a carriage into a river, Hiram discovers that he has a mysterious power related to his long-lost memories of his mother and struggles to understand it.
There's a lot of supernatural shit going on.
There is.
Have you guys noticed that? Supernatural is going off the air, and now I feel like everybody is trying to fill that void.
Yeah.
Let's just do whatever we can to find some supernatural, creepy kind of stuff to fill that void. It makes sense.
It does make sense.
That show was on for 8,000 years. So it's going to need somebody to come in and fill that void, and who better than Oprah and Brad Pitt?
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
This is what I was talking about. This right here. This is too much. Lionsgate, they have announced that Night Has Fallen. Gerard Butler is coming back for a 4th installment of the Has Fallen franchise, and he will once again play his guy, Mike Banning, as a former Army Ranger who worked as a protective agent of the Secret Service. Too much. It's happening too many times. I understand they're entertaining, blah, 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 but this is very cookie cutter. All of this franchise is very cookie cutter.
I don't disagree with any of that. But I still loved all of them.
Exactly.
I liked all of them. And if they go further with the Nick Nolte story, because Nick Nolte in the last one played his dad, so if they go further with that, I'll be really excited. I don't know. It's one of these things where it's just okay, I'll go see it. It's kind of like the Fast and the Furious. You hate that they keep making them, but you still go fucking see them.
It's a fair point.
So, I feel like that's what the Olympus stuff is.
It's a fair
you don't
point.
want to hear that they're going to make another one, but your ass will still watch it. So don't say that you won't, So, anyway, this one surprised me, though. I don't understand this one. Apparently, Spyglass is going to do a remake of Short Circuit. Johnny Five, you remember Johnny Five? The robot Slurpees, Steve Guttenberg and Ali Sheedy, and that one. They're rebooting it.
Oh.
Why? Johnny Five, you don't touch Johnny Five. You don't touch Johnny Five. You just don't do that, man. Short Circuit was really good. Don't fuck with the 80s, okay? You're bringing back all this 90s shit, but don't fuck with the 80s. Just leave it alone. That shit was too good. That's okay, I'm done.
Are you done? Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, good. Heading over to Netflix.
I short-circuited. I was out of
it. They have renewed, surprisingly, Emily in Paris for a second season. Everybody knows, starring Lily Collins and Dustin Love loves it.
Yeah. I do. I loved it.
Set up at the Paramount Network, but moved over to Netflix the summer, and of course launched the start of October. And I mean, it got a lot of backlash from France and Paris, but apparently not enough because everybody loved it.
Yeah, everybody loved it. It was huge in the ratings. It was one of Netflix's top-ranked shows. So there you go. Look, everybody says the people in France are rude, right? Like, sure. I mean, that's not like a new thing. Like this show wasn't the first to ever address that or whatever. But I think as the season went on, it kind of played both sides of that, and you got to see that Americans are arrogant and think they know everything too. And I think they kind of played both of those sides pretty well. And by the end, you were more wrapped up in the characters than you were, the whole France thing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited though, because it was left on a cliffhanger, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. And I love Lily Collins.
Yeah,
Emily in Paris.
Yeah.
Round two. They actually film it all in France though.
That's pretty cool.
Like the entire thing. So Netflix is playing out the bucks.
Hell yeah, man. Definitely. Netflix has also given a season 3 order to its huge freaking superhero show, The Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
It's set to production set to begin for the 10-episode third season in February. Films in Toronto, Canada, and of course everybody's coming back. And of course the executive producer and showrunner Steve Blackman will also be back as well.
Yeah, I don't think you could do it without Ellen Page. She had to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, but the entire cast is coming back, and that's rare.
Yeah.
Normally when you see these shows, if you get past season 3, somebody leaves.
Yeah.
Right? But no, the whole cast coming back, so that's exciting.
Exactly. And I mean, Netflix is also rounding out the cast for its 4th and final season of Ozark. Alfonso Hera from The Exorcist. I mean, so many other things. Adam Rothenberg. And they're going to be series regulars.
Yep.
And Felix Solis from 10 Days in the Valley, Charmed, so many others. And Damian Young from The Trial of the Chicago 7 and Homeland. They will both be recurring characters in season 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right? I mean, so much happening with that show. I still, I don't like their tactic of maybe 3-4 seasons. But, I mean, if you write it for that, I guess. But still, as a fan, it's hard.
They addressed that, too. You saw they put out a statement saying, we do not cancel shit more often than anybody else. But you kind of do. You kind of do. So maybe this was their answer. They put out that statement, and then they renewed all these shows.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, it's just interesting because literally, I don't know. It's because everybody knows they're in a lot of debt. So, I mean, of course, they got to cancel some shit. But at the same time, they set things up as their, number one show. And then they cancel that show.
Yeah, Away.
Yeah.
A brilliant show, but apparently just too expensive.
And then right after season 3 of Stranger Things. Oh, season's 4 coming out, but then it's gone after that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. One thing we do know about Netflix is they like the Hawk family.
They do.
They do like the Hawk family. Camila Mendez, you know her from Riverdale, of course. Everybody knows her. And Stranger Things is Maya Hawk, that's Ethan's daughter, for anybody who doesn't know. They're attached to star in Strangers, a feature film from director Jennifer Caton Robinson. The film is described as a subverted Hitchcockian dark comedy featuring the scariest protagonist of all, teenage girls. Oh, I can attest to that. It follows Drew, who's the alpha it girl, and Eleanor, the beta alt girl, who after a clandestine meet cute team up to go after each other's bullies. Oh.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going with Camila Mendes is probably the alpha it girl.
Probably.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but I don't see her as the alt girl.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Agreed, man. Agreed. And daughter, father is also have a good relationship with Netflix. Ethan Hawke, Peter Skarsgård, Riley Kinop, and they're coming for The Guilty, an upcoming film for Netflix.
Yeah, Skarsgård and Riley Keough have joined Ethan because we remember that's the one we talked about last week with Antoine Fuqua. He is going to be directing that, and then Paul Dano. We should say just a shit ton of other people too, like everybody in existence on the Batman film has joined this film. So when they're done filming, they're going to apparently hop onto this one. I don't know, but Skarsgård and Paul Dano and Riley And then Ethan, that's an incredible fucking cast.
It is good.
So, I mean, and then Antoine is just going to bring the shit in on that. That's going to be awesome.
Exactly. And Netflix also has acquired the world rights to social justice drama Monster, based on the award-winning novel of the same name. Centers around like a 17-year-old boy honor student from Harlem who is charged with murder and thrown into a legal battle that could land him in prison for the rest of his life. Damn, very relevant right now.
Very. Yeah. And I mean, after the huge success of Chicago 7, I'm betting they're jumping all over stories like this.
Oh, yeah.
So, good for them.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Amazon's doing some things. Some stuff. Jamie Foxx is set to produce and star in Amazon's The Burial.
Oh.
Yeah. Based on a true story. After a bankrupt funeral home owner decides to sue a rival businessman and over a handshake deal gone wrong, the owner hires a flamboyant attorney to handle the case.
I think Fox is going to be the flamboyant attorney.
You think so?
I mean, maybe. I mean, he could be the creepy, funeral home owner, but I just think flamboyant lawyer.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
You excited about this next one? We're finding more people to this. This is that crazy thing that we were talking about the psychiatrist, and it sounds like Bob. Do you remember that movie with Bob? It was no, you probably don't. Richard Dreyfuss. No, you don't. Okay, no. Let me just go back. Kathryn Hahn is joining Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd in the Apple limited series The Shrink Next Door. We told you guys about it a few weeks ago. The Shrink Next Door is the movie that's going to detail the bizarre relationship between psychiatrist to the stars, Dr. Isaac Ike Hershkop, and that's Paul Rudd, which makes total sense. Paul Rudd is a therapist. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And his longtime patient, Marty Markowitz, played by Ferrell. Han's going to play Phyllis, Marty's younger sister. So this is going to be interesting because more and more plot details are coming out about this. And basically, I guess Marty just injects himself into his psychiatrist's life. Like, literally makes himself the president of an organization, moves into the same town, kind of just, literally crosses every boundary possible and becomes, part of his... Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I love Kathryn Hahn and Will Ferrell. They've worked together numerous amount of times, Step Brothers. And I mean, Paul Rudd, a part of that group. I think it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. Paul Rudd. Come on. He's perfect in everything.
Everything.
I
mean,
just
the
Paul
man
Rudd
does not age.
He doesn't. He looks exactly like he did on Friends.
Exactly.
It's just not right.
Speaking of someone else who doesn't age, Jonathan Sadowski. He does not age.
He does not.
I mean, this guy is doing anything and everything, and I mean, it's working because he's on the top of his career, rocking and rolling. He's got so many stories, and I'm so excited for everybody to hear this interview.
Yes, me too. And this guy, speaking of, COVID has not slowed him down at all.
Nope.
He's working on literally 18,000 projects. We were lucky to get him and have him talk to us. And so wait until you guys hear this, man. He's got definitely one of the funnest, probably, and most real interviews we've had because this guy just does not fool around.
Yeah, completely agree, man. Completely agree. Well, here he is.
Jonathan Sadowski, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. How are you doing today, man?
I am super quarantined right now.
Yes, that's right. We should say you're up there in the old Canada getting ready to shoot something, right?
Great White North. Yeah, man. I got up here. I have, including today, 5 more days stuck in my hotel. But I'm making the most of it.
There you go. There you go. Well, we are super stoked to have you on.
Just took a nice walk around the kitchen. I might go check out the bathroom later.
Oh, man, we should have done this video. We could have gotten a tour.
Right? Nice little exercise time. I mean,
That's it. Well, look, man, we're super pumped to talk to you. We've got a lot of listeners who are huge fans of yours. One of them being my daughter, for sure. She said to say hello. Her name is Emily, and she found you, of course, on Young and Hungry, so she's a huge fan also.
Emily, thank you so much.
Oh, she's going to love that. Oh, my, you just made her whole day with the shout out. All right. So,
$20 bucks.
$20. It's on its way. I'll Venmo you.
That's right. But what we like to do, just to kind of start off and everything, is kind of do a little introduction to the listeners who may not be familiar with who you are or what you've been kind of doing. And so, how did you get started in the industry, man? Was it something you always envisioned doing, being an actor or a performer, or did you kind of fall into it, or how'd that go, man?
Yeah, I studied theater in college. I kind of grew up performing. I played music, and I did some school plays and stuff like that in grade school. And then when I went to high school, I was an athlete. I wrestled and played football and baseball, ran track. And I went to this all guys Catholic high school that was, very, it was great academically, but it was also a kind of a kick-ass athletic program there.
Right.
So I didn't really do too much in the arts while I was there. Yeah, I was a member of the fine arts club as an extracurricular, but as far as actual performing, I didn't do any of that. And then I went to college as a finance major. And I come from like the south side of Chicago, and like, I didn't grow up with money, and
sure,
I kind of felt that when I got accepted to the University of Illinois finance program, they were #1 in the nation. And I was like, well, you know what, this is it. I'm going to be an investment banker, and I'm going to be rich, and that's going to be it.
There you go.
And like my sophomore year, I don't know if I can cuss on this or not.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. It's wide open on the show, man.
I was fucking miserable. And, one of my, I was like, I just want to be an actor. That's, it's what I've always wanted to do. And one of my close friends said, you are an artist. And he said, do you want to be an artist behind a desk for the rest of your life? Or do you want to be an artist on stage? Mm-hmm. And that was all I needed to hear. And I met with the head of the business program, and I was able to transfer out of that. And then, my first major audition was for the acting conservatory at the University of Illinois.
Oh, wow.
And, I wound up, funny enough, they wound up like, you have to audition to stay in, and the acting program there, I was one of 2 people that didn't get accepted to stay in the program.
Oh.
I was like, it was comical. Like the teachers there completely exuded, like, if you can't do, teach, like literally. And one of the instructors there, when I said I wanted to move to LA, but my parents wanted me to have a degree. She's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Your looks will only get you so far. And I was like,
damn.
All right, this meeting's over.
Right.
So I walked across the hall to the head of the performance studies curriculum. So in college, there was acting, performance studies, which was like, directing, playwriting, stage management. Right. And was also the design school for like costume, makeup, set design. So I walked in, and his name was James Zager. And I said, hey, James, you don't know me. I was like, I didn't make it into the studio of acting. I want to move to LA to be an actor. My parents won't let me leave without a degree. How quickly can you get me a diploma? And he goes, that's the most honest thing I've heard in my career. And he goes, let's get you a degree.
Fantastic.
So I changed my focus from acting to directing and playwriting, which I actually learned so much more about theater in that program with him. And then I did an internship in the summer of 2001 for Linda Obst on the Paramount lot. Mm-hmm. Linda's a huge producer. And then went back, finished my last semester, graduated in December, worked 1 month of construction in the winter in Chicago, bought a one-way plane ticket.
Rough.
Bought a one-way plane ticket, moved to LA with $300 in a duffel bag. And now I'm talking to you fine people.
Oh my goodness, man. So inspiring. It's one of the things we enjoy most about, you and why we wanted to talk to you so much, because you have this just like go get it attitude where like, if you want to be an actor, go be an actor, like what the fuck are you doing anything else if that's what you want to do? And like, if, you got to take the leap, right? I mean, you got to just go out there and make it happen.
That's what when I was talking to Jeremy, I said the same thing. I was like, look, first things first, I'll give up everything and move to New York or LA.
Right.
Like, if you want to be an actor, no reason for you to stick around in Alabama. Like, there's just not. I mean, sure, I'm sure you can submit some self-tape auditions and stuff like that, but you want to immerse yourself in the industry, and you want to immerse yourself with industry professionals. That's how you're going to further your career. And another one of my pet peeves is when people say, I'm going to give it a few years. I'm going to give it a few years, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, that's not, you can't go into this with that mindset. It's like, you either want to be an actor, or you don't want to be an actor. Like, if you don't go, I'm going to give architecture a few years. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to do something else.
Exactly.
You either want to be an architect, or you don't want to be an architect.
Right.
And yeah, so it's a grind. And, I one of the decisions I made when I moved to LA was that no matter what, I was not moving back home. And I figured every time someone else moved back home, that's one less person I'm competing with. And, and it's this industry, like I said, it'll eat you alive, and it's a dog eat dog business. And it's just, and ultimately it's about perseverance. So like I said, to kind of piggyback on my talk with Jeremy, like, you want to be an actor, give it all up and don't give up.
That's it.
That's it.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally an industry built on rejection, and you got started with a rejection. You didn't get into the school. So, the acting program. So, I mean, I love that. It's like in an industry built on no, you got to forge your way and just stay until yes happens.
Exactly. And, look, there are some overnight successes, and there are some people who move out here and the first thing they book is a giant TV role or a giant movie. But that's like less than 1%. Less than 1% of 1% of people that come out here.
Right.
And you just have to be comfortable knowing that it's going to be a grind. Mm-hmm. And you have to be comfortable knowing that you're going to have to work a side job. And the goal should be to earn a living as an actor, and however long that takes, you should just stick to it. And if you can be happy doing small roles here and there, go for it. Like, do it. And, slowly climb you up the ladder. But if that's something you think you're not going to be happy with, then this business is just not for you. And that's nothing against you. And there's plenty of other ways to, there's community theater, and there's, theater programs in cities and stuff like that. And I highly recommend and I encourage people to do that. But if you want to be in the film and television business, you have to be okay with co-stars. You have to be okay saying, one or two lines here and there and doing a few of those a year and maybe not booking a pilot for 10 years. That's just the reality of it.
Yep.
And it's a special breed of people. Is it miserable? 100%. But is it the most satisfying thing ever when you book something? 100%.
Absolutely.
And that's what I did. There's the grind, and you audition all the time, and it's constant no after no after no, but I can't imagine my life without that.
Exactly. I mean, I can only imagine how many people go out there with stars in their eyes, like thinking, I'm going to be the next best leading man. I'm going to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio. But yeah, you have to just be okay with who you are. And sometimes you're just not that person or not what the role is looking for. So you just have to be okay with what you are and what you can actually learn from being on set. We have so many people that come on the show that just talk about the invaluable experience they just get being on set, learning from a casting director, a producer, the director. You can learn so many different aspects just being on set, being like a day player.
100%. And, I think there's a serious flaw in what you said as well. I mean, there's so many people that move to LA wanting to be Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio or Charlize Theron or Angelina Jolie. And you have to understand that's because your ego, and that's you wanting to be famous. That's not you wanting to be an actor. That's you wanting to be a celebrity.
Exactly.
And there's a very distinction between the two. As an actor, you have to be comfortable, not being rich. You have to be comfortable grinding and stuff like that. And, I'm super fortunate. I busted my ass, and I am, in my opinion, I'm successful at what I do.
Right.
I make a good living, and I am working, and that's all I can ask for. And you have to be okay with that, man. You can't go in there trying to compare yourself to Brad Pitt.
Right.
You're just going to be severely disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but let's be honest about it. Even Brad Pitt's that's a great example. But Brad Pitt drug it out too. I mean, he was small time on freaking Dallas, and he had to make his way too. You can't just go out there. Brad Pitt did not go out there as Brad Pitt.
Exactly.
I mean, like the Brad Pitt that we all know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just great. And that brings me because I love this story that I heard about you though when you were talking about how you were getting trolled on the internet, and this guy was just coming at you about you're a B-rate actor and you're on C-rate shows and you're this and this and this, and your response was, all that may be true, but you changed with lives with me in a heartbeat. I fucking love that answer, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's true, man. It's true. People it's like people try to insult you because you're doing what you love.
Right.
And that's a reflection of them not doing what they love.
Exactly. It's almost like a sense of jealousy. Just because you have the simple 9-to-5 job, putting food on the table, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're also not doing what you actually want to do. You never got the chance to chase your dreams and go out and do that, so now you're kind of sitting behind a keyboard or behind a phone and typing out all your opinions. It's kind of a double-edged sword, social media is, right?
Yeah, dude. And it's look, man, I know what it was like to fucking scrub toilets in a bar, and while I was trying to be an actor. And I'm and I know where I'm at now. And if I'm well, dude, if this is the life of a C-list actor, I can't wait to be a penis.
Exactly.
I'm doing fucking great.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, where the fuck does this guy live? Because if that's unsuccessful, I'm like, I want to be unsuccessful. Shit. Like, I mean, I must be doing something wrong. I mean, shit. He's in movies and television shows. He got a nice house. Like, that's unsuccessful. What the fuck am I doing? I mean,
yeah.
It's just crazy. But, I'm glad you brought up the struggle, though, because, there was one point where you were even, like, on a show and still bartending. I mean, I think a lot of people realize, like, oh, well, if you book a show, that's it. I got money in the bank. I'm good to go. But not necessarily the case, right?
No, not at all, man. I was bartending, and I was recurring on that show, American Dreams.
Right.
With Will Estes and Tom Barrica, Brittany Snow. And I was still bartending at this place called the Golden Gopher in downtown LA. And my manager and agents at the time, on Sundays, that's when the show aired. And I would bartend Sunday nights, and we'd come in and I'd have a little TV set up, and we would literally watch my episode as I was bartending,
That's fantastic.
And dude, I swear to God, guys, there was like this one time with like, there was like just drunk people at the bar, and they're like, well, you're trying to be an actor? Like, good luck, man. And I literally just pointed at the TV.
Right.
I just like pointed at the TV screen. It's like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's great. So that must have been like, I guess, fun and challenging though, right? There you are, you're tending bar. You had to have been recognized. You got the douchebags that are like, oh, you're trying, but there had to be people that also recognized you, right? And you're like, what the hell? Why are you tending bar? You're on TV.
Of course, and I think it's such a misconception that like once you start acting, you're successful, or like you're successful enough to not have a side job. And
right.
That's just not the case. And I'm not going to lie, it is a knock to your ego because
I can imagine.
When it just is, man. And like when you get recognized for the first time, and then people like recognize you because like you're like, oh my god, you're da 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 da. And then they like come into the restaurant you're working at. You like have to sit them at their table.
Yeah,
that's actually happened to me. And yeah, and it is a knock to your ego because it's like you can taste it. You're like you're so fucking close to being there.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And you just want it. You want it more than anything.
Exactly, and I bet it's all about the grind. There's beauty in the struggle. I mean, obviously, we see that from your career early on, starring in things like Entourage and The Good. We're huge Jeremy Piven fans, so I can only imagine the story you have with him, like on any one of those sets.
I have quite a few that I will not get
into. Now, is that true that you were really at Ratner's house? Is that true? You filmed there, and kind of that whole thing went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that had to have been crazy right there.
Dude, it was like I showed up to set, and it was just like 200 like smoking hot models. And I was just like, where the fuck am I right now? Like, yeah, it was crazy, dude. It was crazy.
But, I mean, it had to be the experience, though, because at that point, that show was the one that everybody wanted to be on, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody in Hollywood's talking about, like, this is the most real interpretation of the shit that goes on here. And everybody was kind of fighting to get on that show. So to have the opportunity to pop up had to be awesome, man.
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Hell yes.
Oh, yes.
I turned the role down.
Oh, shit.
So everybody's clawing and fighting. You're like, yeah.
So they offered me the role, and I said no.
Wow.
And there was a big debate. Like, we got a nasty phone call being like, who does he think he is? Turn this role down. People would kill for this role. And they didn't realize that my agent and Doug Ellen, who created the show, were best friends.
Oh.
So my agent called Doug and was like, just so you know, like the people are talking about my client like this. And we got a very nice email from Doug and an apology and a little bit of a pay raise. And I wound up doing the role.
Fuck yeah.
I love that, though. This is the kind of shit you don't hear places, You got to, like, the real shit that goes on. That's fantastic. So what was, okay, well, now that you shared that, we got to know, why'd you turn it down? Like, it just wasn't what you wanted to do? Or, like, what's the story behind the turn down?
It wasn't, like, it turned out, so originally the role was, it was much smaller. And I was just like, I don't need to do this role. It's like, it's not, it just wasn't for me. And they wound up combining these two characters together. into what basically happened on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, then it made sense for me to do it. But it's like, for me to go in there at this time after the body of work I had done up to that point, I was like, I just don't need to do one line role in a TV show just because it's Entourage. Like, I don't, I just don't need to do that.
Love that.
So.
Exactly. Even if it's a huge show, like, you're at this point where you're like, yeah, I'm good. It's fine.
Yeah, because the whole point is to continue to grow, right?
Exactly.
Not go backwards. So,
Yeah, it all worked out, and the role wound up being great. And a lot of people, were very complimentary about the episode and stuff like that. So everything worked out. So I can't be mad about it.
No,
definitely.
So, okay. I'm super curious about what I got to bring this up. I kind of mentioned it with Jeremy, but I want to bring it up because I was a huge fan of the Twitter feed and the book. So when I saw that Shit My Dad Says was coming to TV, and then they said Shatner, I'm like, this is going to be fucking epic. I was a huge fan of the show, dude. I thought that you played the character brilliantly. I thought the show was fantastic, and I was fucking pissed when they canceled it. It was a fan favorite. I mean, it won People's Choice Awards, favorite new comedy. It's like people loved it and they fucking canceled it. I was so pissed off about that, dude.
We were getting over 10 million viewers an episode.
Right, and people would kill for 3 now.
That's a hit. That's a smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just nowadays, like I said, you would kill for 3. Yeah, and you'd be rolling with 3 million. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think our premiere, we hit like 13 million viewers.
Ooh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And that whole show, man, oh my God. The story of how that whole thing came up is crazy. So I auditioned. I'm trying to remember exactly how this happened now, because there was so much fucking going on. So I auditioned. Dude, it was nuts. I auditioned for Shit My Dad Says. They wanted to test me for it. But then I got a straight offer to do this like completely improvised pilot with Larry Charles. So I met with Larry, and this thing was like brilliant. So I turned down the screen test for Shit My Dad Says, and I wound up doing this pilot for Larry for Fox. So the pilot that I did with Larry for Fox was like with Mick G and all these great cast of characters, Nate Cordry, PJ Byrne. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It wound up not getting picked up. And then they cast my friend Ryan Devlin in the role in Shit My Dad Says, right?
Shit.
And then Shit My Dad Says gets picked up. And then I get a screen test for this other show called, I think it was called Friends with Benefits, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
And then at the same time, they wanted me to play the Elijah Wood role in Wilfred.
Oh, shit.
So I had to say no. I said no to Wilfred because the money wasn't there.
Right.
And then I said yes to the screen test for this Friends with Benefits thing. They cast Elijah Wood in Wilfred. I didn't get the role in Friends with Benefits. and then Ryan Devlin gets recast, and they brought me back in to screen test for Shit My Dad Says again, and I got it.
Wow.
That is a lot going on.
It was like so crazy. I was like my head was spinning, man. My head was spinning.
Yeah, well, and then I guess, I mean, but there had to be a certain sort of chemistry that had to work because it's Shatner. So, I mean, you had to have that shit just like exactly right. Talk about that though, because it's been back and forth in Hollywood for years and years and years. He's a pain to work with, or he's the nicest guy ever. So, which one is it? Like, is he a pain in the ass, or is he the nicest guy ever? I've always been curious.
I think he's a mix of both.
The honesty, I
there
love
you
it.
go.
And I can say that. Like I know Bill, and like he's a good guy. He was always nice with me. But I think with everybody, you just have to know how to deal with people.
Yep.
You have to know what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, and you have to know what lines not to cross. And like there was one day on set. This is fucking epic. Where, dude, this is like a fucking holy shit. What are you doing story? We're shooting in front of a live audience, and there's a scene where we're like in a baseball shop or something like that. Like we're like baseballs or something like that.
Right.
And so there's extras all around. And literally right before we're about to do a take, like we're rolling camera, an extra walks up to Bill and goes, hey, can I get your autograph?
Oh no.
Like, swear to God. And Shatner's like, get my autograph. Get him out of here. Like guy gets escorted off the stage.
Oh shit.
And it's like once he said that, I was like, ooh.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
Right?
Dude?
Like
we're about we're rolling camera. We're about to do a take, and you go up to the fucking lead actor and ask him for an autograph.
Right?
Oh, dumbass.
Yeah, you're never gonna do this again. You know?
This is the guy who came out of the basement and took his shot, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And it failed miserably, right? Like
he was like a Trekkie from the beginning and was just like, fuck it, I'm going for it.
I'm gonna do it.
That was his only role.
What a stupid fucking
right?
dude.
Oh my gosh, man, that is so great. Love that. And I could just imagine Shatner having him escorted off the set. That's got to be brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Well, before we move on, I just want to tell anybody who can find that show and watch it, do it, because you'll be amazed. It's a fantastic show, man. I really enjoyed that one. So,
thank you guys so much. That's very kind of you.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about the flip side of it, because you've been on a series that was extremely popular and then got the can for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Right.
And then you've seen the other side of the industry too, where you jump on a show like Young and Hungry and you have that successful run, 70 plus episodes for a series of 4 or 5 years. Talk about that. Because I'm always curious about everybody. We know the good side to that, but are you ever worried when you get into a situation like that about maybe being typecast as you're so familiar as Josh that this is what everybody wants you to do now, kind of a thing? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I think that's what good actors do is they change characters from show to show.
Right.
And one of the things I love and that I'm most proud of about my career path this far is that, I love the fact that people can watch She's the Man and then watch, Die Hard and then watch Young and Hungry and be like, wait, that's the same actor?
Right.
Okay. So I realized that I was that guy in all of them.
Right.
That's the biggest compliment, like fully embodying a character is wonderful. And that's why we do this as actors. But I mean, yeah, I think there is always, that risk, and it's frustrating because after 71 episodes of television, like people still call me Josh. I'm like, that's not my fucking name.
Right. Like, come on now.
Like Josh is a fictitious fucking character, like it's so frustrating. And another thing, it's like people, man, it's like, dude, that show ended 3 years ago. People are like, when is season 6 coming out? And it's like, just use your Google machine.
Right, exactly. Go fucking watch it on Netflix. It's on there now. Like, come on now.
Google it. Like, when is season? It's like, guys, just the show's dead in the water, man.
Exactly.
But it's. I mean, if I have to trade being typecast for being on a show for 71 episodes, I'll fucking take the show for 71 episodes any day of the week.
Hell yes. Hell yeah. Well, Adam West said that. He's like, look, if I have to put on the Batman costume, at least I know for the rest of my life I've got a role.
Exactly.
I might be putting it on at World of Wheels, but I'm getting paid, and I'm okay with that. Like,
And I mean, it seemed like such a good family dynamic on that set, too. I mean, the chemistry was all there for all 71 episodes, and, like, it's honestly really fun to watch. I mean, damn near every dinner we have, we sit down and watch Young and Hungry. And I mean,
true.
I gotta say, you're honestly one of my favorite characters on the show.
Thank you so much, man.
Of course.
How was
Thank
that?
you very much.
Did you have to have a chemistry with Emily? I would imagine the audition process for that, it had to be just right as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's the same thing. Like, you do these chemistry tests, and I did the same thing with Shatner when during the screen for Shit My Dad Says. You do it, and you see who has the best chemistry, and I've done that with many people, like many famous people, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it's just not fucking there.
Right? Yeah. Right.
And it's nothing. It's not a knock against you as an actor, because you have to understand, anybody who's an actor out there listening to this podcast, if you make it to that stage, if you make it to a screen test, they want to hire you.
Right.
Like casting directors want to find the guy. They want to find that role, So that is not a knock against you if you don't get the role. It's just not. It just wasn't yours. But getting that far is a success in itself. And there are so many things that go into play at that point. It's really out of your hands. So just getting that position is a step. So if you guys do that and don't get the role, don't beat yourself up over it.
I love that. I love that. All about having that positive, because like you said, they clearly want to hire you. And we've had several guests on the show say that was the situation. They were put into a file or in a drawer and held for another role that they knew that they would be right for. The casting director's like, we got to put this guy somewhere. Let's hold him until we find a role that fits him. And, you never know, right?
Well, dude, the guy, so for the final screen test for Young and Hungry, it was myself and Jason Blair, and Jason Blair, they want to bring him back to play my brother on the show.
There you go.
Like, you know, he did like 2 seasons on the show. It was, you know, yeah. So it's you know, getting to the screen test is one thing. Booking it is a whole other thing. But you know, yeah, there has, like, to get back to the question. Yes, you have to have chemistry with the other person.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. Well, to get a little off the entertainment industry a little bit, we see you're a foodie. We see you like to cook, man. We've been trying to. Dustin's been cooking a lot. I've been more on the baking side. What got you into cooking?
Well, I grew up in an Italian family.
Right.
My dad was Polish. My mom is Italian and Sicilian, and I grew up, like, all the husbands kind of moved in with my mom's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in this big, like, Italian household, and we'd have, you know, big Italian family dinners every Sunday. And, you know, it was just a lot of cooking. And I was making homemade ravioli and homemade pasta with my grandmother when I was a kid. And that just kind of started it. And then, you know, I've just always been a fan of good food. And when I came to LA, my first experience with fine dining happened with my first job in LA. I became a host at this restaurant called Campanile, which Mark Peel and Nancy Silverton owned. And I was kind of thrown in, and it had just won, like, the James Beard Award for outstanding restaurant.
Right,
so basically the best restaurant in the country. And I was like, holy shit! Like, I had never seen food like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never been around that kind of, like, cuisine and just fine dining culture, and I fell in love with it. And it's just random. I just, like, randomly started hanging out with, like, meeting more chefs and like Michael Voltaggio and Andrew Zimmern, and, you know, they're just like Graham Elliott in Chicago. They're all my boys.
There you go.
And then I wound up competing on fucking Chopped.
Yeah, right.
I definitely want to bring that up. I mean, come on, man, you Chopped. Like, I would kill to compete on Chopped. I mean, like, what was that like, dude? I'm sure it was
horrifying.
I can imagine.
It looks horrifying in the edited down version. I can only imagine what this shit is really like.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, I was getting picked up in my hotel. We shot it in New York. I'm getting picked up in my hotel at like 4:30 in the morning.
Damn.
I mean, you're cooking appetizer around at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Shit.
Literally.
Oh,
they're like, cook steak and lobster with the fucking, like, coffee and a fucking milkshake.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
It is. They take it very seriously. You do not know the ingredients before the show, and it is hectic, man. It's like you are on a timer, and it was fun. I love competition. Like, I am very, very competitive. But yeah, it was fucking an awesome experience.
And you lost to a chef, like an actual chef. So I'd say you did pretty well, right?
It's like,
what kind of bullshit is that, right?
Yeah, even though he's a celebrity, he's still a fucking chef.
That's right. He's supposed to be an amateur. What the hell?
I think for my first cooking show, I was, and I actually got a cooking, like, a travel show, a food and travel show out of that, some Food Network.
Cool.
Yeah. But I think I'm holding my head high. I thought I did pretty well.
Hell yeah. I'm going to throw this out there. I think that you should, like, pop up on Jon Favreau's chef show, bro. I think it would be epic. Just your personality and the way you are and the way you act. I could totally see you and Favreau cooking something up in the kitchen.
That'd be badass.
Oh, I would love to. That
would be epic,
do you
man.
know him?
Yeah, let me call him right up after this and work that out for you, all right? 20%. I tell you what, you work that out. You call me and I'll come out, man. I'd love for that to happen. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, so good, so good. So how have you been? Okay, cooking. That's what I've been doing during quarantine and everything. How have you been dealing with that? Let's get back to the kind of serious shit that's kind of going on now in the industry and everything. How have you been dealing with quarantine? How have you been keeping busy? Obviously, your appearance on Quarantine, which, dude, your episode and your cop, I think, was like just hysterical from start to finish. How you kept a straight face and did all that was beyond us. But
thank you.
So what else have you been doing to try to, like, stay productive during this time?
Dude, I am so busy right now, bro. I am producing. Well, I'm like about to start shooting this, Netflix series up in Toronto. I'm producing a big film for HBO Max right now. I'm also producing a film with John Legend's company, Get Lifted. I'm producing this, like, speakeasy magic show in Los Angeles. I'm writing this immersive dining experience for Neil Fraser at Redbird in downtown Los Angeles. I have like a lot on my plate right now.
Yeah,
like,
you're a busy man. You're a busy man.
I mean, so you've been slacking the whole time. What the fuck? I mean, it's like,
I know.
Wow, dude, man. That the Netflix, HBO Max, and John Legend. What?
I mean, the HBO Max film is the only one that kind of we're not on a timeline, but you know it's kind of time sensitive.
Yeah.
So it's a Christmas film and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And so that's the only one that's like been taking up a lot of time. We're trying to lock up some of our, the rest of our cast right now. We're hoping to shoot in January, but the other stuff, it's going to be a process, like this movie I'm doing for HBO. Like I read this book 3 years ago and now we're finally about to start shooting it.
Oh, wow.
So awesome. That's how long it takes to get this thing going. But now that we're finally in the home stretch, it's, the work is picking up.
I love that.
That's awesome to hear. And with theaters shutting down and could probably barely survive after all this, do you think it's a good thing to go more towards the streamers rather than like network programming? Or like, what do you think about that? Because it seems like streaming is just kind of taking over the whole entertainment industry.
Streaming is taking over the whole entertainment industry. That is a fact. There is a lot of money going into it. Mm-hmm. The content is amazing. There's not as many restrictions, like, the shows you see on Amazon, you're not going to be able to watch on CBS
right.
or ABC. So I think that, they're taking the cinematic elements of movies, turning them into these great TV shows. I mean, look at Game of Thrones,
Absolutely.
And stuff, but, and there's just so much money and talent and star power going into television and streamers these days that I don't know how, theatrical releases really compete with it. Like you're talking, 35, 45, $55 million movies on a streaming platform.
Right.
That's a big movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with international appeal and with the reach that these streamers have, you're guaranteeing 100 million people see it. You can't guarantee that at a theater. So,
no,
I mean,
100%.
Yeah, and I mean, you see the industry chat. I mean, in the past several weeks, we've seen all the biggies, the big five, all making the move, reorganizing towards the streaming. So, as a creator, I would imagine that's got to be really exciting, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just look. NBC has Peacock now. You have Warner Brothers with their streaming platforms. It's everybody's going to it.
Yep.
I think it's inevitable. It's really funny. I read this funny joke like not too long ago. It said there's so many streaming platforms out there now. It's only a matter of time before someone starts bundling the streaming platforms and comes out with basic cable again.
And that's going to be Apple. Right. Seriously, they're trying hard to bundle them right now. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. That is good stuff. So we should mention, though, like you said, you're producing, you write, you're a theater. I mean, you're just a man of many skills, dude, aside with the cooking and all the stuff you do. But, I mean, I think the most inspiring part, because we do have a lot of people that, our listener base is a lot of people that are trying to break into the industry. And I just think your attitude and your approach on how you go at it, dude, the realism that you have, the fact that it's not going to be easy, it is going to be a grind, but it's all worth it when you get a yes. And all the kind of stuff, dude, it's so inspiring to have you talk and for the people to hear that, because you're a shining example of somebody that can have long-term success and if you do it with the right approach and you have the right attitude.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. I don't think there's any sense in fluff pieces in this business that I've decided to do. I don't think it benefits myself or anybody else trying to do it. And if I can give some worthy advice to people trying to break in, I think being honest is the best thing you can do. So I appreciate that. That means a lot to me too. And I'm very fortunate to be in a position to where people actually give a fuck about what I say. Oh, like, your opinion matters. Well, thank you. So that means a lot, guys. I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course. And now for the hardest question of the whole interview. What shows are you watching right now?
I'm on this new show. It's not even new, but I'm fucking obsessed. I'm obsessed. It's this super weird Japanese show called Midnight Diner on Netflix.
Okay.
It's incredible. The story, it's like a masterclass in storytelling. It's like this Japanese sitcom soap opera-y thing about this guy who has this diner that opens at midnight and he closes it at 7 a.m. And it's basically Cheers, but about this diner in Japan.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Okay, now I have to look that
right?
up. That sounds fantastic.
His whole thing is this: he only has one thing on the menu, but whatever you ask him to make, as long as he has the ingredients, he'll make it for you. And it's like tying these characters. Like every character comes in, and every episode's kind of about a new dish, and like what this dish means in that person's life, and why they always order it when they come in. It's just brilliant. I mean, and they're short. They're like 25-minute episodes.
Nice.
But the amount of ground that these people cover in the 25 minutes, it's like mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how much of a story they pack into 25 minutes. As a writer, it's a masterclass, dude.
Yeah.
Gonna have to check it out now.
Definitely, because we're all about story, man. We say that constantly. We have the conversation all the time that so much entertainment now is all about blowing shit up and, and special effects, and that's all fine and everything. But, man, we're story guys. We're storytellers, and we love good stories, man.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But hey, I also have to tell you guys, I only got about like 6 more minutes, so I just wanted to be upfront with you guys there.
No, you're good. You're good. We can wrap that bad boy up. I mean, you already are. What we normally do at the end of every interview is leave a piece of advice, and you left that piece of advice all over the interview. So we love it.
Advice
Jonathan says. That's right.
What you said.
That's great. What pitfalls would you tell them to try to? I mean, all the advice was solid throughout. What pitfalls would you tell up and comers to try to look out for? Because it is a shady business, right?
Be careful who you surround yourself with, especially in the age of social media and cancel culture. Be careful who you surround yourself with. That's my grandmother would always say, "Tell me who you hang with, and I'll tell you who you are," and that rings true. Yeah. Just be careful here. You want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. You want to be a party boy, surround yourself with party boys,
I love it. Love it. That's really going to help the up-and-comers that listen to the show, man.
Absolutely. Okay, and you brought it up, social media. So where can they follow you? Because you're okay to follow on social media.
Thank you so much for the promo. I actually am only on one of the socials. I am no longer on Facebook or Twitter.
Okay.
I find them incredibly toxic. So I am on Instagram, and it's just my name, @Jonathan Sadowski.
Perfect. We will make sure to direct everybody there.
Fantastic. Well, listen, man, thank you for taking some time out of your day and talking to us. This was an absolute blast, and honestly, any time that you want to come back on the show, shoot the shit. We talk about industry news all the time. You can just come back whenever you want.
I would absolutely love that, man. And look, I still got 5 more days in this interview. This is going to be a long interview, guys.
Right? Like, shit.
He's going to go do the 5 and come back. It'll be great.
I still have 5 more days left in this quarantine, so I'm happy to give you guys a call once I get my freedom back and while I'm shooting this show and give you the update on Sex Life for Netflix.
Hell yeah, man. That'd be awesome. And then the Christmas movie and shit. We'll have to have you on for a top 5 cooking segment or something like that. That'd be badass.
Top 5 dishes you like to cook.
We'll do a video. We'll do a Zoom, and I'll actually cook something for you guys.
Oh hell shit. Yes! Now we're gonna hold you to that because I'm always looking for new recipes. That'll be badass.
Amazing.
All right, dude. Listen, man. Take care. Get through the rest of that quarantine, bro. I know that's got to be like struggling, but you're handling it, and just continued success, man. Best wishes for continued success. You're killing it. You're a great guy, and we could not be more happy that you joined us, dude.
Hell yeah.
Gentlemen, I am very appreciative. Thank you, and I do look forward to chatting with you guys again.
All right, man. Take care now.
All right, have a good one, guys.
You too.
Yeah, you too. Dude, that guy is epic.
He really
lives up to like every thought I thought he would be.
Yeah, and I just his whole realism thing, like Shatner answer. Well, he's both. He's a pain in the ass and a nice guy.
Exactly.
I just love how real he is. No, hidden expectations. It's like, this is how the industry is. This is how you got to do it, and just rolls with it.
Yeah.
Man.
And I mean, that dumbass. I mean, you're about to fucking shoot a scene. Of course you're not going to walk up to the main star and fucking ask him for his autograph. That's something you pull somebody aside for. What the hell?
I can only hope that there is a picture of Shatner's face when that happens somewhere.
Pointing him off set. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, my goodness.
You're right though. Just I love Jonathan. It's those kind of people that we want to be associated with. And surround ourselves with. Like he said, you are who you're around, and we couldn't think of a better guy, right?
Agreed. Thank you again, Jonathan Sadowski, for coming on the show.
All right, now it is time for the top 5 segment, man. Oh,
yes.
My goodness, oh my gracious. This one was kind of difficult because the more and more we went back on IMDb, we didn't realize this guy has a lot of fucking films out there.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Honestly, when I first saw the category, I was like, oh, we're going to have some repeats.
Yeah.
But we did not. Mm-hmm. We did not have any repeats. 10 films, no repeats. And when you hear the category, you're going to be like, really?
I know, right?
But it's true.
Yep. Top 5 Adam Sandler movies.
Yes.
Like, didn't even realize this guy was in so many things.
Yes.
But literally, there he is.
There he is.
But man, oh man, my number 5 is probably a holiday one that I watch every single year, and of course it's animated, so you guys know I love that shit. 8 Crazy Nights, going in depth on kind of his Jewish background a little bit, and I mean, of course, animated Adam Sandler is absolutely hilarious. And that whole movie, if you haven't seen it, it's highly underrated. Go watch it. Just go watch it. 8 Crazy Nights. Whitey. And I mean, so many different crazy people in that show. Like, it's great.
Yes. My number 5, I think, has to be on the list because, I mean, literally, if not, what is wrong?
Yeah.
Number 5, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
The entire film is worth the Bob Barker beatdown alone. Yeah. Just that scene. Or the scene where he's on his hands and knees telling the ball to just go home. It's your home. Those 2 scenes alone are worth the entire thing to watch, but the whole movie's hilarious.
It is.
The whole thing is good. So you should definitely watch that one. You know, Apollo's in it. Apollo, and the alligator, and there's so many things in that movie now that I'm thinking about it. Them up in heaven, and, it's just
all of it.
Watch it. Happy Gilmore. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh, my goodness. Right. My number 4 goes to The Water Boy. My mama said,
Bobby Boucher.
Girls are the devil. Oh, my goodness. I mean, everybody knows we're kind of a little bit from the South, so we can connect with that shit all the way. Like,
oh, man, I lived in Cajun country for a long time, so I know Bobby Boucher's, and he did a pretty good job. I'm not gonna lie. He did a pretty good job interpreting them because he was pretty accurate.
That one's such a classic.
It really is, and the beloved Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
I mean, can you not? I mean, you gotta love a film that has Henry Winkler.
Seriously.
Right? And I just just great.
So good.
All right, my number 4. How can you not love this one? Adam Sandler and the legend himself, Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
Anger Management.
So good.
Jack Nicholson, angry? What?
What?
Oh, what? No. But the idea of him playing off of Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler just annoying the ever-living shit out of Jack Nicholson and him trying to maintain the cool.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
That's it right there. That's all that matters.
I mean, and then they spawned a TV show off of it with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
But the movie's fantastic. Watch the movie. It's great.
Oh, my goodness. My number 3 goes to Mr. Deeds. Oh, man. I mean, everybody kind of puts themselves in the shoes of Mr. Deeds as a figure of speech. I mean, you're just sitting, chilling, have a pretty decent life, and then all of a sudden, you inherit a whole bunch of money. That would be somebody's dream. But then, I mean, of course, consequences come with that.
That's right.
A whole bunch of shit. I mean, people try to screw you over. But it's just a really good movie, man. Like, if you haven't seen that one, be sure to go check that out. I love it when him and I forget the legendary tennis star name, where they get drunk and they start throwing shit at the car. What the fuck was his name?
John McEnroe?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so good.
Yes.
So good.
It's a brilliant movie.
It is.
It honestly is. It's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
My number 3, Dylan and Cole Sprouse. Yeah, baby. I'm talking about Big Daddy.
It's a good one.
And Joey Lauren Adams.
Yeah.
I just love Joey Lauren Adams. I think she's just one of my favorite actresses. So you have Adam Sandler, Joey Lauren Adams, and then the Sprouse twins. How can it be bad?
Exactly.
And it wasn't. It was fucking hilarious. Big Daddy is hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, it's about him and the little kid, and he's taking him in and, wants to adopt him. And, it's a great movie.
It is.
It's a great movie. Watch it.
Watch it.
It tells you how long ago it was, though, because I said the littles, and they're like grown-ass men now.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's a great movie. Watch it.
Definitely. Well, my number 2 goes to 50 First Dates. I mean, Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler, their like chemistry is like spot on. And I mean, I saw an interview where Drew said anything that Adam ever needs her for, she's like right there. So I love their chemistry together, and plus the concept of him literally loving a person so much that he will literally introduce himself to her every single day so that she can understand him and feel the love, that he will always be there and it won't just be her alone with her dad and her brothers. Such a good movie, and especially like in a mental health standpoint, from like people, if you meet people prior to or post, like they will be there for you no matter what. Like there are good people in the world, so I think this film like does a good job of representing that. So yeah, 50 First Dates, and I watched that one a lot with my stepmother Jody, so that was kind of a film that we bonded over.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good story. Good story. And now, what's that you say? Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Great chemistry.
Great chemistry.
They work well together. They do awesome movies together. Let me think. The Wedding Singer.
Of course.
Duh. Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler with that great chemistry, beautiful love story. And it's, hello, if you love the 80s and 80s music, this is your film. Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler, and 80s. Enough said.
Yeah,
The Wedding Singer. It's like, honestly, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. I do think they work really well together. I mean, they have a really great chemistry, like you said. And just, if you haven't seen this movie, you need to see this movie.
Great.
Period. His mullet, the blue
so
tux.
Good.
The blue tux. Come on. I mean, you got to see it.
Hell yeah. Definitely. Well, my number one should have been on my reboots and remakes, but I completely forgot about this one. The Longest Yard. Oh my goodness, so good. I saw this one in theaters so many freaking times, it was insane. I even had the soundtrack where Eminem and D12 did a song. But I mean, come on, guys. Adam Sandler, Michael Irvin, like you got freaking Terry Crews, you got Nelly, you got Chris Rock, of course, you got what's his face from the original. I mean, I'm so disrespectful.
Burt Reynolds.
Yes, for forgetting the name.
For which there would be no,
Exactly. But it's such a good movie. And I mean, like we've talked about before, like Adam Sandler actually really shines in his dramatic roles.
Agreed.
So, I mean, yeah, The Longest Yard, my number one.
Yeah, and I'm just going to keep with that. It really shines in his dramatic roles, and maybe his most dramatic to date, most out there away from Bobby Boucher for sure. I'm talking about my number one, Uncut Gems. Holy shit!
Yeah.
That was intense.
It was.
If you guys have not seen this, you wouldn't even it's not even on the realm of possibility that that's Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't look like Adam Sandler, you'd swear it was somebody else play. I mean, it was full-out drama from start to finish, a chaotic ride of drugs and sex and gambling and alcohol and addiction and, like, just all of these things combined into this, like, just insane story.
It's literally one of those where you want to like the main character, but then you also get mad at, like, every single decision he makes because he's kind of an asshole.
Yes.
And fucking you're like, don't do that, but shit, you're kind of genuine in that moment. But like literally the whole time you're like on the edge of your seat. And then the finale, everybody in the theater we went and saw it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because it out of nowhere. Like, you're not expecting the end at all.
No.
And then, but there it is. So I hope he does more of these. I hope we have. Don't get me wrong. I love the comedies. I love, but I really think this is his transition and way to go now. I would love to see more of these type films.
Completely agree, man. Completely agree. We left off like Little Nicky, The Grown-Ups. Like, there's so much Adam Sandler movies that
all
we
the
didn't
Transylvania
even
movies,
yeah.
like Chuck and Larry. Oh my God, with Kevin James, where they pretend to be gay for the benefits. That thing was fucking hilarious.
So
just
good.
So many really great movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah.
Damn, man. Damn. Well, now heading over to the box office recap. Oh, man, it's a slow week, but fuck COVID. Number one was Let Him Go.
Yes.
Select theaters maybe near you. 4.1 million. Number two was Come Play with 1.7 million. Number three was The War with Grandpa with 1.5 million. Bobby. Number four was Honest Thief with 1.1 million. And number five, Tenet finally dropped below $1 million at $905,000.
There you go. I'm kind of happy to see the number one, 4.1. It's Kevin Costner and Diane Lane, if you guys don't know. And they decided to work together again after Man of Steel. Yeah. Kevin Costner said he was so impressed with Diane doing that movie together that he wanted to work with her again. Hence how this movie came about. So let him go.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do in the COVID. It's just that's where it's at.
Exactly. Well, new movies that are coming out possibly near you. Reckon, Freaky, Come Away. What is that one?
Ammonite,
and Dreamland.
I'm gonna predict Freaky is gonna crack the top 5. Freaky. That's that one with it's a remake with Vince Vaughn where remember he's a serial killer and they switch bodies or whatever. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
That one's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Movies you can still go see in select theaters maybe near you. Toy Story, The Empty Man, Spell, The New Mutants, and Love and Monsters.
Yes. And check out, we have a great interview with the director of Spell. You can hear all about the story about how that came about, Mark Tunderai.
Yes.
And it's a really great interview. Be sure to check that out.
Definitely. Well, now heading over to the IMDb Pro Top Trending segment. Oh, man, we love this app. We season it with our food. We use
Cooked steaks with it just last night. Yeah, it's true.
So good. I mean, we literally use it every single day. Casting announcement. You can apply for a role. You can track the latest and greatest box office numbers. You can track your Hollywood idols. Like, so many things you can do on this app. It's literally the one-stop shop for the entertainment industry.
And as J-Lo always says, and if you're in a pinch, you can even use it as soap.
Facts.
Soap in the shower.
Facts. Like, it doesn't have much of a smell, but it gets the job done.
It's no Irish Spring, but it gets the job done. That's all right.
Exactly. Top trending movie is Holiday.
Yes.
On Netflix. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Emma Roberts.
Yeah, pretty decent.
Pre-pregnancy.
Yeah.
Pre-pregnancy.
Top trending TV show is The Queen's Gambit. Still got to check that one out.
Hang tight for that. We might have some people from there coming.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Little tease. Little something. Top trending star is Sean Connery.
That makes sense. Yeah. Probably be Alex Trebek next week.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Well, guys, I want to thank our guests one more time. Oh, man, Jonathan Sadowski. Come on the show.
Oh, my gosh.
Man, be sure to follow him on Instagram. Doesn't use Twitter. Instagram, I loved everything he said about the freaking, social media and how it is now and how they approach it. I love when guests come on and talk about how they approach social media and how they don't
and their careers. Yeah. He was having no part of it. It's like, if you want to be an actor, be a fucking actor.
Exactly.
Don't do anything else. Just be an actor, and don't let other people tell you what you should and shouldn't be.
Exactly.
Or make you feel bad. I love that approach, and we're gonna hold him to that Zoom cooking thing because I want to cook with Sadowski in the kitchen.
Exactly.
I just want to do something. Maybe we can't make that Favreau thing happen, but damn it, we can cook together. It's fine.
Exactly. Be sure to follow the company at social media at Crazy Ant Media, and of course you can follow the podcast on social media at ItCaf Podcast. Be sure to follow us both personally on social media, Instagram and Twitter. Myself, JLo Fantastic, and
Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
That's right, guys. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. That's Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. We're even on YouTube doing the YouTube things, watching the YouTube channels. Watch us get a little crazy. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on our channel, like this video, and do all those amazing things. Ring the bell for all those great.
Anita, come on the show.
Anita. Oh my goodness, it's so great, guys. It's so great. And of course, visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com. Like we said at the beginning of the show, 15% off all of our merchandise for this whole weekend.
Let them have it.
So the 13th through the 17th, be sure to buy up your Crazy Ant Media gear. Christmas right around the corner. You need to start shopping.
That's true. And man, it's getting cold. Those sweatshirts, man.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, they are awesome.
Exactly. Well, of course. I mean, the interviews are always so damn fun, but I like talking about Disney. Disney is honestly one of my favorite things. I mean, especially with the hardships and the good stuff. And I mean, their streaming service, it's going to be number one. It's inevitable. It's going to be number one.
Super stoked about WandaVision. Really excited. Yeah, obviously Disney. I'm kind of invested. And so I'm happy to see the stock go up. Unhappy that I'm not getting a dividend, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm with you though. I really like talking to, and it's always interesting. Like we kind of said, the chess game between the mouse and the bunny. They really do kind of see what the other one is doing and kind of like, staying in that competitive zone as to who's going to be number one. So I like, and who's going to knock off Netflix.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we already know who's number one in our lives and yours.
And Brad Pitt's.
The only O that matters. Oprah!